Hey, it's Mazzy and welcome back. I want to talk about 5 records. One's like multiple discs because it was from the CD era, 3 separate albums that really relate. And about 8 years ago, they put out a box set of the collection of a piano-based singer-songwriter with very biting lyrics, some political, just one of the great American songwriters. But the rest of these are acoustic guitar-based. One's an instrumental, and the others are singer-songwriter types in the folk acoustic vein. And I just adore these records, some very new and some from last year, from a year ago. I want to open up with something that's very original and very creative and very unique in concept, conceptually. That's the Bookshop Band. These are a duo out of the UK, a duo consisting of Beth Porter and Ben Please. And I have to say this right at the get-go because his name's so big. And I think it's something that it brings it to an audience. It might like shine a higher light than normally. This is produced by Pete Townsend of The Who. You know who Pete is. This is such a beautiful record. Now, they're an interesting concept. This album is called Emerge Return. Beautiful cover art by Stanley Donwood. He's the painter, the artist that does the Radiohead covers, the Tom York covers, the albums for Smile. What a big, stunning, beautiful. This is a limited edition of 1,000 copies. This is I think this is the only album. I'm going to put a link below for you to check it out. Since it is an indie, the others you can find in maybe except one on your own. So do some research, step up to the plate. But this is number 143 out of 1,000. It's beautiful, and it's, I'm not usually a fan necessarily of this colored vinyl the kids are into these days, but you get this yin-yang red-black thing. These are literally my high school colors from high school, red and black. Soccer, track, I had the red and black uniform. I digress. Now, this is a unique project conceptually for a number of reasons. This duo, acoustic guitar, multi-instruments, cello, so there's a whole neo-classical take on it as well. And Pete Townsend is on every track as well. He plays guitar, electric and acoustic. He does some background vocals, but he's not the primary reason to get this album. There is a little bit of a feel, not as produced, but as like a Sandy Denny Fairport Convention in that folk styling, that very British folk styling. A little bit of a Joanna Newsom type, without the squeaky voice and not the exact type of harp playing. The Adrian Lenker, who was an artist, one of my favorite albums of last year, a little bit of that kind of work. 10,000 Maniacs, maybe not exactly. Her voice, Beth's voice, is kind of like frail, beautiful voice. And I happen to like the tracks more where they collaborate, they sing on together. One being the final track on side 1, Faith in the Weather. But the whole album is great. Now, the concept is also what adds another layer of uniqueness. This is them. Here's them recording the album, and there's Uncle Pete there. But I just love this picture. And this is a great photograph for a number of reasons. They're in this wonderful library. The concept of this duo is that they really do almost all their performances, I understand, in bookstores around the UK. There's an article in the New York Times I'll link to. If you're not a subscriber, you might not be able to read it, but Google them too, or go to their website and read about them. What they do is their performances and most of their records, I understand, and I think this is like their 13th or 14th record. I have not heard any of them, so I don't know how this compares to them. But they base their performances on books, on novels. Not that they tell the entire story, but they read these novels and they write songs influenced by parts of the books, which I think is a really unique thing. And of course, traveling around and playing in these bookstores, maybe libraries too, is to me a really kind of unique thing. Such a beautiful record. And this is a grower. This is a record that I've been playing a lot, and I just keep wanting to put it on and listen to it. I love that singer-songwriter folk sound. There's a certain really intimate sound to it. And the way Pete Townsend brought these instruments in, and this group of other artists on here to play on here with synthesizers, bass, guitar. There are electronic components to it. So it's not all acoustic based, but the vibe of the entire album is an acoustic album. So first, Emerge, Return, the Bookshop Band. Go and buy it. I'm going to link this below because I really think it's important to support indie artists, and this is a very unique artist. And if there's a place to put it, tell them Mazzy sent you, and thank them. I think you'll like it. Or go listen to them, and on Bandcamp maybe, I suppose they're there too. There you go. Next is an album that I feel people have been beating me over the head on this artist, literally for decades and different reasons and different friends. Most recently, my friend John out of North Carolina Digital Gramophone told me I had to get the new Jason Isbell record. I mean, this is all over the dial, all around right now in record stores, and he's on all the touring circuit doing an acoustic tour. Now, what is his band? The 400 Unit or something like that? Country folk singer, songwriter, crossover. Jason Isbell, my friend John, my late friend Vernon with the Drive-By Truckers. I'm going to tell you a little story about that in a little bit. Have been beating my head. Chris, the Long Cut, Todd, all these other YouTubers and friends tell me about him. And I, as much as I listen to and have, and was it Southeastern was the one that was a big hit, and I got it, and I like it, but I don't love it. Going back to whatever year the Drive-By Truckers concept album came out, that rock opera, that rock country album, I know he wasn't on it, and I thought he was for years, but he came into the band right after that album came out. That year, my friend Vernon, my late friend Vernon, who worked for Koch Music, was going to LA, and I was going to show portfolio. So we drove to LA together, and we got a hotel together. And he had gotten an advance copy of that Drive-By Truckers record. He was raving about it, that album. And he played it for me on the way back 3 times and on the way back 3 times. And I just couldn't connect with the Drive-By Truckers. Now, Jason Isbell joins them later, stays with them, for 2, 3, 4 records, I don't know. But he's become this sort of big deal now. Now, what I do like about him, how political he is a lefty from the South. Is he from Alabama, I believe, originally? He is a killer guitar player, and he's a great singer. And his inspiration, according to him, are people like John Prine, Warren Zevon, Randy Newman, as well as I'm sure a lot of other kind of, James Taylor, singer-songwriter, as well as country artists and crossover, and rock and roll. He's a rock and roll. What's great about the Drive-By Truckers, they were very political and very on the left side of the politics, and he sings about that in the song, and he doesn't stay silent. He's not afraid of speaking up. But this is the obligatory breakup album, and it's a beautifully recorded acoustic guitar record. I mean, I blasted this 3 times in the last 2 days, and it fills this beautiful room. This is not a quiet, dead, acoustically treated room, but it's a beautiful open space, and having this reverberate off, but with a tight, dry recording, it's great. I love his voice too. He's also, what was he in the Killer Moon? That last Scorsese film, he actually acted. So now he's like a part-time actor. But him and his wife, Amanda, former wife, late wife, well, she's still alive, Amanda Shires, violin player, played with him on tour in the band, played with the Highwaywomen records. I mean, great singer on her own right, great singer, performer, player. They broke up, have kids, and now he's in with someone else. So this is the breakup record, and you can tell is also a new love on the docket in these songs. Now, I will admit, I haven't really latched on to the lyric side of this, and that is the important side for a lot of people. Say that Jason Isbell is the songwriter of du jour of the last few years in the singer-songwriter vein. For some reason, when I listen to a Randy Newman song or a James Taylor song or a Cat Stevens song or a Warren Zevon song, I hear the lyrics right away. I'm not one who always brings in the lyrical content. It doesn't always register. It's usually the music first for me. But for some reason with him, it's taken me a while to grab the lyrics. He does mention a Steely Dan song, Kid Charlemagne. A couple of questionable things in here, but I really like it. There's some really great hooks too. So I know as I listen to this album more, I'm gonna really like it. Now, this is the indie exclusive. I heard that some people are having issues with noise on the indie one. I haven't had it, and I haven't even cleaned it yet, but it's fine. There's a black version. It's kind of a nice, wonderful color here. But I really like Foxes in the Snow. I think this cover is beautiful. It's really a really nice classic cover. So it's kind of a great sounding record, and I'm very interested now in seeing him acoustic sound, but his Telecaster electric playing is incredible. So Jason Isbell, I think I'm warming up to him. So, you know, they've been browbeating me to be into this guy for so long now. All you late 40s, early 50-year-olds that I know are pushing me into Jason Isbell. I still haven't warmed up to the drive-by truckers yet, but we'll see. Maybe I need to revisit them. Some of those illustrations on the cover. Now, this is a record that was given to me when I was in LA by Alex. Alex has a channel, Diamond Marimba. He's into a lot of ambient, jazz, freak folk, avant, minimal, experimental, out there music. He sometimes does radio plays music or on his channel. But he gifted me this record. I know I showed it briefly, but I've been pulling this out again. Now, I think, I hate to say it, it might no longer be available on vinyl. You have to go to the Bandcamp site. I'll try to put a link to it. Shane Parish, I believe he's out of Austin, Texas. This came out about a year ago. Beautiful Renaissance type of painting on the cover. This is a killer record. This is acoustic guitar, solo acoustic guitar, instrumental. This is in the vein of the John Fahey's, Robbie Bashos, that kind of edgy guitar playing, little freakish, little primitive guitar stuff. Really good. It's got a little more of the Fahey side at times. But what's interesting about it, the songs he covers that I don't really recognize, which is great. When you cover a song, I think the best versions are the ones that aren't exactly like the originals. Of course, when you do an acoustic guitar, you can't do it right like the originals. But it's got a jazzy little edge to it. He does John Cage, Alice Coltrane, Aphex Twins, Kraftwerk, Ornette Coleman, Charlie Mingus. So he's doing this great set of composers, and he's doing it brilliantly. My friend, the archivist, heard this. I played it for her when she was here a few months ago, and she ordered a copy of it. I think when I saw it at that point, there are only a couple copies left. But Shane Parish, this is called Repertoire, and this is, I guess, a self-released record. I'll put a link below to this too. And it's just a really beautiful record. Go listen to it on Bandcamp and check it out. And thank you, Alex, again. I thanked you before, but I'm thanking you again. This is a dynamite record. Next is someone you all know, and it's Neil Young. This is Oceanside Countryside, now part of the Archive series, but he has this new series, I guess, it's somewhat recent, called Analog Originals. Now, this was previously an unreleased record. Supposedly, this was going to come out in 1977. Now, those of you who do follow Neil Young and who dip in Neil Young, especially his 70s record, will recognize half, at least, the songs on here, because a lot of these songs were done in different versions, different variations on American Stars and Bars, Comes a Time, Rust Never Sleeps, Hawks and Doves, different versions of it. Obviously, songs like Pocahontas, you probably know, Dance, 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 which is also done by Crazy Horse, Going Back, Sail Away. This is a really good album. This is, if you're a fan of the acoustic side of the, after the Gold Rush, of The Harvest, of Comes a Time. You'll like this record. Harvest Moon, you'll like this record. The first one side was recorded in Florida. The second side recording around Malibu, I believe. Second side brings on more musicians. The first side is, I believe, mostly or all acoustic solo stuff, but it's really a beautiful record. I, for a while, was all in on his entire archive releases, and he releases a lot. He has this great archive. I didn't get the big volume 3 archive box. Apparently a few of these tracks are on that. In fact, I think Oceanside Countryside is the name of one of the discs, but I don't have that, so I'm unfamiliar. My only thing is, Neil, you're slipping. Neil and Warner Brothers, or you're slipping, Reprise. You have it not in a poly-lined jacket. That's so unlike Neil Young. But the pressing's great. You want to know that. But come on, Neil. Another 5 cents, 10 cents, gonna bust your balls. Warner Brothers Records. Reprise. Also in here, there are, I mean, you're doing all this stuff. You have this about your promo, your archive analog series. That's like promotion stuff. Instead of this, give us a poly sleeve. You have some of the lyrics, well, basically who plays on the tracks here. You know, pedal steel guitar, the whole bit. Anyway, and all the lyrics. You know, the thing about Neil Young lyrics, this is actually better. Remember in the past you couldn't read, is it Harvest? You can't even read this stuff when it's handwritten. This looks like it's typeset, but a certain font that's legible. So, original album recorded in 1977, unreleased at the time. These songs are the original mixes done at the time of the recordings. I sang the vocals and played the instruments on Oceanside, in Florida, and Miami. And he sang the vocals recorded with the great band of friends at Crazy Mamas in Nashville on Countryside. So I was wrong about Malibu. I apologize. But Neil corrects me. Thank you. This is a great record. A great and one of my favorites of the Neil Young archive of recent days. There you go, Neil Young on Reprise. The analog originals. Was listening to a Jason Isbell interview, and he cites, amongst others, Randy Newman. And I'm a huge fan of Randy Newman. We need Randy Newman songs now more than ever. He writes great songs of America, of Americana, of New Orleans, of the South. Biting lyrics, political satire at its finest. His songs were covered by so many other artists. He's an American treasure. He's written a lot of scores, a lot of beautiful soundtracks. He scores his own records, and he's a great piano player. A series of CDs came out on None Such Records, the Randy Newman Songbook. Here's Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. This is a concept of his label and producer back on Volume 1, and it became very popular. Not like major hit popular, but very popular. What he did is he went back and he recorded a lot of his great songs. And basically, you got like 16 songs on every record. One has 18. Couple instrumentals from his soundtracks, like Ragtime and others. And obviously a lot of his wonderful singer-songwriter, his biting things, everything from Short People, Mama Told Me Not to Come, that was a big hit for Three Dog Night, Burn On, Roland, Simon Smith and the Amazing Dancing Bear, covered by Nielsen. You Can Leave Your Hat On, you know, the song that was a big hit for Joe Cocker, on and on and on. Baltimore, beautiful songs, Dayton, Ohio, Cowboy, Suzanne, Yellow Man, Kingfish, and of course, great songs like God's Song, Rednecks, Avalon, that's instrumental, Marie, beautiful things, Sail Away. Political Science, that's a song that we all need right now. So these are amazing. None Such, what year did this come out? In 2014, so 11 years ago, put out this set. And this is a multi-set. This is 4 LPs, and it has the complete solo recordings from 2003 to 2010. I love this. Now, the pressings are good. The pressings like could be better, but still, I just love this. And obviously, what you don't get in the same way, you get the little booklets there, but you got these great booklets that has all the lyrics. And what's great about Randy Newman, obviously, is lyrical content. So in closing, I'm going to read the lyrics to this song by Randy Newman, written, I believe, in 1972. The album came out, Political Science, Sail Away. My favorite Randy Newman album of all time, and one of my all-time favorite records of all time favorite records. Political Science. No one likes us, I don't know why. We may not be perfect, but heaven knows we try. But all around, even our friends put us down. Let's drop the big one and see what happens. Asia's crowded and Europe's too old. Africa's too hot and Canada's too cold. And South America stole our name. Let's drop the big one. There'll be no one left to blame. We'll save Australia. Don't want to hurt no kangaroo. We'll build an all-American amusement park there. They got surfing too. Boom goes London and boom Paris. More room for you and more room for me. And every city the whole world round will be just another American town. Oh, how peaceful it'll be. We'll set everybody free. You'll wear a Japanese kimono, baby. I'll be Italian shoes for me. They all hate us now, so let's drop the big one now. Let's drop the big one now. How prophetic is that, huh? Mazzy loves you.